Stratford-upon-Avon is a historical medieval market town in England, West Midlands, famous as the birthplace and burial place of playwright William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was born in the lovely half-timberland house in 1564. His descendants continuing to live here until 19th century. Shakespeare, the hidden Catholic, the closet gay, the misogynist, the revolutionary, the racist and the imperialist. The secret of Shakespeare is universal. A market town with more than 800 years of history, containing not only buildmanships that survive today and would have been familiar to Shakespeare, but also a thriving community offering a wide variety of leisure and shopping experience. England's national poet has become a playwright to the world. During his lifetime, Shakespeare brought the passions and politics of distant land to the stage of globe. Shakespeare was revered across the world. His plays were translated into more than 180 languages. They were rewritten, modernized, even parodied. They inspired operas, ballets, paintings and movies. No dramatist in the history has wielded such an influence on the society. The prime site in town is Shakespeare's birthplace, a half-timbered Elizabethan building where William Shakespeare grew up. This is also the house where Shakespeare and his bride Anna Hathaway began their married life together. Millions of visitors have rubbed it clean of anything authentic. Still, the house makes a good introduction to the bard. With some imagination, we might get the sense that Shakespeare's ghost still haunts these halls. Shakespeare's hometown is seventh heaven for English major actors, but Stratford-upon-Avon's half-timbered charm marks Stratford a literary stop for anyone in the world. Good morning and welcome to the Stratford-upon-Avon. Welcome to the enchanting medieval town of Stratford-upon-Avon, a place where history, architecture and timeless words of William Shakespeare come alive. Stratford-upon-Avon, the birthplace of England's greatest playwright. Shakespeare's plays are so well known and his genius is universally accepted. Shakespeare is performed, read and studied in most parts of the world today. Why is there such interest? Or more important, why should there be any interest in an English writer from Stratford who dies 400 years ago? The internet is still in its infancy, yet there are about 500,000 web pages, some of the most useful devoted to his life, his work. In other words, he is transcended the limits of time and place to become a figure of global significance. Welcome to Stratford. The humble beginnings of the ordinary boy from Stratford, who went on to do extraordinary things with his global influences, spent his childhood and early years of marriage here at his place. Shakespeare House at Stratford-upon-Avon is celebrated and much visited town. Its Shakespearean connection ensured keen interest in the local records as early as the 18th century. The interiors of the birthplace at Stratford have been restored convincingly. Its rooms furnished with Elizabethan and Jacobean furniture has a strong sense of homely atmosphere the young Shakespeare would have felt. His birthplace is now perhaps most visited and venerated literary shrine in England. The house was much visited by fashionable and literary figures during the early years of 19th century. To save the building where William Shakespeare was born, a public campaign was launched supported by Charles Dickens. The property was purchased at auction by the Shakespeare Committee in 1847, and by an act of governance the committee was renamed the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust. This is one of the most important remains and leftovers of 19th century, and it is under the Shakespeare Trust right now presently maintained and The Shakespeare Centre was a multifunctional building to be used as study centre, public exhibition space and offices. The ground under Shakespeare Centre and surrounding areas was excavated, then built into safe rooms and climate controlled storage areas for expanding collections. What is the secret of Shakespeare's international appeal? One answer can be found in Shakespeare, the universal storyteller. His plays reach beyond any single language. And the high and low themes and the interwoven plots, and the plots penetrating soliloquies and transcend national theatre conventions. Historic significance of Henley Street lined with Tudor-style buildings, some of which date back to 16th century. The charming architecture characterized by distinctive half-timbered frame facades creates a truly enchanting atmosphere. Straight at the end of the road, we are here at the Jester statue. We are here at the very top of the street, and it is the Jester, a statue of one of the most notable fool characters in Shakespeare works, Touchstone and As You Like It. These characters, often referred to as Fool, the Jester or the Clown, always added a layer of comedic relief and commentary to the dramatic narratives. They were often depicted as witty, clever and insightful despite their seemingly foolish appearance. We are here at the Jester statue, and the street at the top right end is the Jester statue, one of the most notable characters in Shakespeare's works, Touchstone and As You Like It. Shakespeare is, without question, the world's greatest literary hero. His works have spoken to countless generations, nationalities and cultures. His plays have been translated into every language under the sun, and performances of them can be seen from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. Shakespeare has made Stratford a magnet, and around 3 million tourist visits every year. The old inns and hotels here, I met with a local senior who likes to share his love and affection towards the town. The Shakespeare Memorial Fountain and Clock Tower, built to honour not only William Shakespeare but also Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee in 1887. Its Victorian style appearance always resembles a small Gothic cathedral. And above each clock face sits a caricature of a fairy from Shakespeare's play A Midsummer's Night Dream. The White Swan is a historic Grade II listed building, a historic 15th century framed buildings operating as an inn since at least 1560, with ties to Shakespeare's acquaintance Richard Tyler, renowned for its original oak panelling 1927, discovered wall paintings and Tudor charm. The White Swan is an historic Grade II listed building and hotel, originally known as King's House or Hall, which date back in and around 1450. The brewer Robert Perrott, his granddaughter, married one of William Shakespeare's boyhood friends. The hotel retains many of its original features, including low beam, wood panelling and an antique wall painting in the dining room. It's claimed that William Shakespeare may have drunk in this tavern. And cheers to William Shakespeare. The first thing that strikes one walking across the medieval centre of Stratford-upon-Avon is the abundance of timber-framed Tudor houses. Their most notable feature, often combined with the overhanging upper story, is an exposed wooden framework. Many of these buildings have been kept in their original state since 16th century. Good evening. I would like to know, much about, a little about Shakespeare and how this town has influenced him.
Yes, well, his father, the first mention of his father, or the family of Shakespeare, came about because of a prosecution. The family were fined by the local council because of leaving a pile of rubbish outside of his door. His father was a glove maker. He carried on, and they disappeared for quite a number of years, about 7 or 8 years. And it's been supposed that he disappeared into a different country, over to Belgium or France, but that's not been proved. But at some point he came back and started to write literature, and his family were redeemed because of that. And that's the source of the local Shakespeare theatre. And much of what we see today is based upon literature that was produced by Shakespeare 500 or 600 years ago. But the first mention of the family came about because of a pile of rubbish, which is ironic. Apart from that, we could speak for maybe much more longer period of time, but at the moment that's pretty much...
As a person from Stratford-upon-Avon, right, how do you feel that people coming here, so many people coming and just visiting the town?
I think it's fantastic.
Fantastic, right?
The more the better.
More the better.
It's a cultural opportunity. It's particularly in the summer months. Many people from all over the world, which I find quite amazing because it's just a small market town. It's just based upon literature that was produced 400 or 500 years ago. I think it's fantastic. I think the more people that come here, the better. It's a shared event. I would welcome anybody, especially if they're interested in Shakespeare and the theatre itself. It's good for the town itself. It just continues with the theme of Shakespeare and the theatre.
And you have seen the town growing,
Oh yes, very much, because
for the past 40, 50 decades.
yeah, during the 1960s, it was pretty much the same, but less commercial. Nowadays it caters for visitors from all over the world. Which I don't disagree. I think it's a very, very good thing. But in the past 40 or 50 years, changed very, very much. Much more commercial. But I don't disagree. Change always comes. I would welcome anybody.
Thank you so much for your kind words. And
no, it's no problem.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
The Guildhall is an historic building on Church Street, dating from early 15th century. Most famously, Shakespeare attended school here. The design made extensive use of jetted timber framing, stone floor and chamfered ceiling beams. Historian and broadcaster Michael Wood has called it one of the most atmospheric, magical and important buildings in the whole of Britain. Outstanding timber-framed architecture and rare historic wall paintings and a rich legacy of structures, the Guildhall is one of the most important buildings in Stratford-upon-Avon. Adjacent to the chapel at the start of the Church Street is Shakespeare School and Guildhall. Shakespeare studied here from 7 to 14 years, and it was here that Guildhall where Shakespeare would have seen plays performed and got inspired. This well-preserved 600 years old building we can see standing in front of the chapel. The Royal Shakespeare Company, till date, it's pioneered in making the dramas play here at Royal Shakespeare Company, Stratford-upon-Avon, and this is the place where, till date, the dramas have been performing in this big hall. Walking with minutes on the way, heading towards Royal Shakespeare Company stands still with its grandeurs, the tower with its elegant features located beside River Avon, reopened in 2010 after a major revolution known as Transformation Project. The Royal Shakespeare Company has renovated the Royal Shakespeare Theatre as a part of £12.8 million transformation project, which included rooftop restaurant and observation tower. The costume design section sourcing since 300 years of designs and patterns are among the watch, with styles from Victorian and Elizabethan age. Thanks for watching. This is all for today, and this is Ratan Kumar Namtabad signing off. See you more on Investigating Europe.